Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my Onechunk Iron Man series. If you don't know what a Onechunk Iron Man is, I'll explain it. So, RuneScape was created in parts or sections known as chunks, and with this in mind, I'm actually going to be entering one of these chunks. I'll not be able to leave until I complete all possible tasks within the chunk. When I do complete all tasks, I'm going to unlock an adjacent chunk. So let's jump into the rules. Before I can leave a chunk, I'll need to complete all possible quests, achievements, and collection logs. I'll need to obtain the best in slot for mage, range, melee, and prayer in terms of gear. I'll need to get all of minigame rewards, and I'll need to complete all skilling challenges in the chunk. Now there are exceptions. I will include the underground layer to my chunk, meaning if I can enter underground, I'll get all reachable parts connected to my chunk, and I'll have new tasks added to my chunk to reflect that. Random events, skilling pets, and the rare loot table unlocks are not going to be added. I put this rule in place because they're heavily reliant on RNG and they have a huge time commitment and they add very little to my chunks. If I manage to unlock Puro before I have a reliable bank deposit, it's going to be backlogged until I gain access to one. This is because it turns a 400-hour grind into something that is ultimately meaningless. It'll still require me to go back for hundreds of hours when I gain access to a bank, so this will just help add some diversity to the account and prevent me from spending excessive amounts of time in Puro. If I acquire a better than best in slot, meaning if I get a better item through a random event, a clue scroll, or the previous chunk's best in slot, I won't need to go back and get the current chunk's best in slot. This is just going to help reduce redundant grinds. That being said though, if the drop is on the boss's collection log, I'll still go and get it. Lastly, I am backlogging ridiculously long goals. So for example, 99 prayer would take me about 965.5 hours or 40 days of just burying the bones alone. This doesn't even include time to kill or looting. If I focus specifically on the prayer grind 8 hours a day, this is going to take me multiple years. This would be extremely boring for anybody, including myself, so I'm just going to skip this, but I will do my best efforts to grind it out and find better methods so I can take it off the backlog. And lastly, we have exceptions to the exception. So monsters that spawn outside of the chunk, but I'm actually able to lure in, kill, and then loot it within the actual chunk I'm in, will be added if it adds or improves the chunk. If a goal is reachable by lamping and it adds something meaningful to the chunk, I'm going to add it. I know this is very subjective, but I'm going to be as clear as possible and explain my reasoning for each of these exceptions. Lastly, all goals are subject to change. If new information or methods are found, I may add or remove grinds. I'll do my best to avoid removing any grinds, but only do so if a massive oversight is found. So with that out of the way, I'll be starting in Barbarian Village. And so I chose Barbarian Village because there is a variety of grinds that differ in length, gameplay, and just the amount of focus required. There's no bank at the start, so I get to kind of try out Ultimate Iron Man. There are ways I can deposit loot. It's pretty unreliable, but it just adds to my need to plan what task I'm doing in what order. There's a lot of mob diversity relative to other one chunk accounts. So I actually have goblins, barbarians, minotaurs, flesh crawlers, cataplepons, and eventually I'll get ankus. And with my new rule set, I'll actually be able to kill the imps from Edgeville and pull them into the barbarian chunk. I'll go a lot more into detail later. And if I can manage to get 27 hunter through lamping, I'll actually unlock baby imps. And this will let me do fletching. I'll get some flax, some soft clay, some chisels, lots of cool unlocks as well. And last but not least, there's also 3 total clue steps in this chunk. There's 1 beginner and there's 2 easies, and I'll have a couple of methods that I'll be jumping between when it comes to actually getting these clue scrolls, so it'll add some interesting content. And on a final note, this is completely experimental. I just wanted to see if I enjoyed editing this type of a video and if I enjoyed playing this type of account. So if you're seeing it, it means I did enjoy both of these processes and I'll continue to do more videos. But due to it being experimental, I had a lot of issues and I didn't properly set up recording software. So I had to use multiple, just depending on what the situation was. So you might see minor differences in quality, even like resolution. You'll probably see like my bottom taskbar or whatever in some of them. In the future, that won't be an issue. I have it all fixed by now. I've only ever really done 2-minute like meme MLG, edits, just from back in the day. So this is a very big different thing for me. It's a big learning process, so I'm going to continue to try to improve and enhance the quality of editing. I also don't really have a definite or definitive editing style, so I'm going to be experimenting and just trying out a bunch of things I'm going to enjoy, and hopefully you guys enjoy it too. So anyways, let's get into this. So let's take a quick look at the chunk that we're working with. I actually manually added this first task, which is 25 crafting, and that is to craft a pot lid, and that is because the imp actually spawns up here in Edgeville, but I decided to just add this to the chunk because I can pull it with range or mage. I need to wear adamant armor, 30 defense, burn an oak log, you know, cast wind wave. This is also, I changed it. It was supposed to be 55, but I can actually get blood runes, so I just bumped up the requirement. 30 mining for some coal, 57 wood cutting for a waka canoe. We have all of our best in slot gears here. Most notably is going to be the skull scepter, which is another task down here. And we'll also need to get the iron mace, if I can find where that is, but yeah. We have our diaries, so we have entering stronghold security, we have perform the 4 emotes, we have to obtain the skull scepter, spin a bowl, got some collection stuff, do stronghold of security, get the sock of ruin, which I didn't really know what it was until a couple minutes ago. That's new for me. But yeah, so that's just a quick overview of the chunk. So right out the rip, we're going straight to the goblins. They have a couple of items I really want. Aside from the stackable runes and the clues, I'm going for the bronze hatchet for strength training so I can get a bronze spear. And I mean, ideally I get a bronze scimitar a lot sooner, but it's a 1 in 128, so I haven't really planned on it. So once we get that bronze spear, we're going straight to 14 strength. So bronze spear, 14 strength on shared. That's going to be giving me a max hit of 3. And so that's pretty nice. And I'm going to be doing that until I get a bronze scimitar. And with the bronze scimitar, I'm going to 34 strength. That's going to give me a max hit of 5. That allows me to one-shot the little goblins in the area. And then from there, I'll balance out my attack and defense, but then I go for 51 strength once I get the iron mace. That gives me a max hit of 7, so I can start one-shotting the other tier of goblins in the area. And that's going to just help me so much when it comes to grinding. And here we go. It's the first little, I guess, milestone. I get a bronze spear. Always nice. Hell yeah. So, 14 strength. And I get my first clue. Can't really use it though, sadly, but that's how it is. You're going to see that a lot. And I went pretty dry for this, but there's my bronze scimitar. I wish my voice recorded live because I was super hyped for this. I think I want like double the drop rate. It's a 1 in 128, so, you know, not the most lucky. It is what it is though, but I got it now, so off for 34 strength now. Sadly, I don't have the footage for 34 strength. Not sure what happened to it. I'm assuming it just didn't record because of Prime Video, but anyways, 20 attack. There you go. Look at my stats. Hell yeah. Let's go. 24 prayer. And there's 30 defense. I can finally equip that Addy Full Helm, and I'll have one more task completed. I'm going to be rocking this look for a little while. Maybe for you guys it won't be as long. Hopefully I get that iron mace very soon. And I'm just showcasing what the imp hunting life is like without any ranged. Yeah, it's kind of a pain, just world hop. You gotta find the imps and hope to God they don't teleport away. This is kind of why I wanted to get these max hits ASAP. And what do we get? A hammer. Amazing. So this is a little lesson. I was kind of just planning stuff out, figuring out what to do. I'm like looking at, you know, different ways to do pottery. And what do you know? Account's ruined. Thank you, Barbarian. Very nice. So I'm just trying to get my iron mace. You know how it goes. Just grinding some barbarians here and there. And I'm very pleased to say that this is the first doable step. So now I'm going to start stacking. There she is, the Iron Mace. This will be my main weapon for probably the whole chunk, unless I can get lucky with the clue or a random event mystery box. So I had this big brain idea of just stacking cooked meats for when I came in here and uncooking the meat and then cooking it in the fires, but as you can see, Jagex, I guess, kind of thought of this, and you can't do this unless there's something I'm doing wrong, but whatever. So this is me just kind of figuring out the event. I haven't done this in like 5 years, right? So alright, I'm out, you know, get some free fishing experience, and there we go. I think it's 7 fishing I get from this, which is, you know, always welcome, some free levels. And just doing some grinding, juggling clues, and look at this, is this clue number 2? Oh yeah, baby. So I just need one more for the guaranteed beginner. So we're getting there. 30 prayer. And you know, it's time to just get Stronghold out of the way. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. I'm sick and tired of having to answer questions, so I figured I might as well just get it all done now. Fly through this real quick, get my fancy boots, and yeah, big chillin'. There we have it. That is the 3rd step done. I'll now be able to complete my first clue. I was super happy when this happened live. Oh man, I was like jumping in my seat and stuff. But yeah, let's go get it done. So this is my first juggle ever completed. There's no way I would have attempted this if it weren't for the 1-hour change that Jagex implemented. I don't really know when they did it, but I'm thankful they did. I'll show an image with all the items I'd like to get. The stuff on the right, the bows and the staves are my like prefers, but if I get anything on the black tier table, it's also pretty good. Steel would be okay as well. RP walk-in for good luck. And there we go. That's clue number 1. You know, I'll take a steel plate skirt. Why not? I got some legs to wear. We're good to go. Nice little breeze. We're happy. And I hate to say it, but this was my second mistake. I've been trying to kill imps without magic or range just because I just wanted to see, you know, how painful it is to do it with melee. So this was a big lesson on why I should only be doing this with range and magic, and I've learned. You know, I think I'm being super smart, like, oh, let me hit it, let me walk back, and then it just, boom, sends me into the music track. It is what it is, but I'm at the Flesh Crawler trying to get some more dust runes so I can actually just start pulling the imps in with range. And also, you know, I do need the magic experience too, so... But yeah, look at that, count check. That is my first time getting this event, so that's always nice. I was getting to the point where I thought, like, hey, maybe the Stronghold blocks certain events. I was, like, kind of gaslighting myself. But yeah, no, we're good to go. Oh yeah, and so this is my first attempt at getting crafting experience. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh, okay. Let's see how much experience I get. 6? Oh, that sucks. Okay, all this time for 6. And let's see how much if I fire it. And it breaks. Despair. This is what the imp grind looks like with magic. I kill it, like I find a world, I kill it, and then I just camp it spawn. Hit it with some magic, take a step back, equip my weapon, trying to hit it again, hope I don't kill it, pull it in, If I don't do that hit, sometimes it just beelines just for Edgeville, and it kind of just ruins the world, and I have to go find another one. But thankfully, we get a tinder box, so now we can start our wood cutting and fire making grinds. Anyways, lamping some hunter experience. I'm just clearing out some of my inventory because I'm getting ready for another grind. I just wanted to, you know, get some crafting experience. I'm not going to show every single pot I make, I promise. I just wanted to show you guys like a successful firing. Yeah, so there you go. Huge experience, massive for the account. So I have everything I need to start my woodcutting grind except for my iron axe. Gunther, the Brave drops one at 1 and 128. And there we go. I was very happy to get that. It was a pain in the ass having to like world hop after every like couple kills and just like vacuum every single cooked meat in the game. And so we're woodcutting, you know. Everything's peachy. These are my stats, you know. About to hit 15 woodcutting, which is very nice. I can go to start cutting oaks, and you know, that's where the fun begins, I guess. So yeah, there we go. So shout out to my boy Leo. This is one of the methods I can use to deposit stuff into my bank while in this chunk. Very nice. It makes the random event costume issue not even an issue. So I am blessed. Thank you, Leo. So this is my first genie. At this point, I wasn't too sure if I'm lamping crafting or hunter. It's kind of just like the lesser of two evils. The hunter is going to make the crafting easier, but I could also just lamp crafting and not even worry about the imp grind. So I don't know, if you guys have any opinions, let me know. As of right now, I'm sitting on hunter, even though I did just put some in crafting, but you know, it is what it is. So I was trying out the 3 main oak tree spots that I found. There's 2 2s and a 3. And I was just seeing what was best to kind of burn logs and all of that. The goal is 15 fire making, but I might as well get to 60 if I need to get 57 wood cutting. You know, why not? Anyways, in the process, I dropped my tinderbox. I didn't even realize it. So I switched the left click from use to drops just so that wouldn't happen again. And to celebrate, I went and got one of my diaries done. So hell yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna go drop this and go get another tinderbox. Here's something I had no idea they added to the game. They did bonfires. I will say the animation's super cool. The experience is pretty trash though. Like, I'm not actually gonna really bonfire. I'm better off just burning it by hand. But hell, this looks really sweet. And then shortly after I realized you can actually like rest at the bonfire, which is like, that's pretty cool, I guess. You know, nice little animation. You're making some tea or whatever, drinking some tea. I like it. So in this clip, I'm getting 49 wood cutting, but that's not important. What's important is that I had a double realization. The first one being, hey, I can just do forestry and gain a bunch of hunter and fletching and farming experience. Then the other one was, oh, you need a backpack. And then I saw Makeru RS, the Sir Camelot locked Onechunk. He was doing it without it, and I asked him, and he just said, as long as there's people around you doing it, like with the backpack, like you can actually just join in on the events. So I decided to bring my main and just give it a shot, see how it feels. I got a little bit of experience. Like, as of right now, I got like, what, 14 hunter or 18 hunter, and how much? 5 farming, right? I didn't get too much. The big thing that's kind of busted is the leprechaun. So I don't know if I should really abuse it, because you can kind of, you know, just work as a one-way deposit just by force spawning it eventually. But yeah, anyways, this is my buddy getting their Iron G on their skiller, so that's kind of sweet. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think about the idea of forestry and all that. we're halfway to our goal now. Only 7 more levels and I can make that infamous Waka canoe. And there's the Freaky Forester event, so, you know, I'm very happy to grab that. Especially with, you know, the ability to deposit stuff at Leo and all that. I don't have to worry about holding on to, like, random event clothing for experience lamps and all of that good stuff. I know eventually I can get it into a deposit and get that into my bank. Yeah, so I think I have a couple more clips until I figured out the audio and like some of the weird like recording issues I've been having. Hopefully that kind of improves and it's noticeable. I still have to tinker around with my mic, maybe get a new one, I'm not too sure. This is when I spawn the, I think it's the hunting event. So you can kind of get an idea of what it's like and how amazing the experience is. Yeah, you can actually see here my editing software pop up. This is when I just was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just start putting the video together. Here's some crazy good RNG. One nest. 2 nests. You can see me tripping out. And there's the 3rd. Oh yeah. 57 wood cutting. Hell yeah. Let's go and make the Waka canoe. This will be another task completed in the chunk. Just gotta make sure I don't click. Go to Edgeville and really ruin the account this time. Let's just push it off for good measure. And boom. And here we go. Gonna get 60 firemaking. I decided just to get it now in case I get like a yew tree in my next chunk. I can just quickly burn it and move on. So there we go. So this is currently what the chunk looks like after episode 1. I wasn't really updating that much throughout the episode. It was kind of just an oversight on my half. But yeah. So we gotta still get some coal. We gotta get our magic up quite a bit. We gotta start working on that, crafting a bit more. And yeah, so anyways, let's see what we get after. So that is it for episode 1. I appreciate you guys watching this. This was quite the process for me. I finished the episode and then I got recommended Josh Isn't Gaming's Onechunk Yanil. And the quality of editing was so high that I just felt super bad releasing it as is. So I've tried to make it as good as possible, but honestly, I'm not happy at all with the quality. But, you know, I guess it's part of the process. I'm going to improve next time. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys have any suggestions, comments, whatever, just let me know what you think. I always appreciate that stuff. And I'll see you next time.